Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, bigger, better, good God and truth of you. If you think about anything God, right, the only way that you can feel it, right, to the reality check of you is through a feeling of good. So we can state that God is the good of all. Now, as truth, anything good, right, can only state you one more positive with spirit to your matter than all negativity. So we know that God is the good of all, right? Only one more positive than all negativity, right? With spirit, right? And we know that anytime any matter, right, creation of existence is stated that way, right, it can only be bigger and better here and now. More positive and good than a negative, okay? Now, here's the thing about this, right? Anything good that you see from the inside out or you experience, the peak of it, right, is only expressed the same way as the life of Jesus Christ, right? One more positive than all negativity as truth, right? That's the only good feeling and way of anybody, of anything, with the spirit of them, the Holy Spirit of them, of all I am, right? Stealing their lives back from all foolish faith. All faith is a static, twisted, scattered, blinding, undefined lie that states that things cross bad, evil, and sinful, when all those things are just one same, negative, right, that needs to be crossed back more positive, in a positive universe, to keep you good as truth from the inside out, only crossing an absolute bigger, better of you here and now in reality check. Okay? But because all faith is a lie on all things more positive than negative, and they are a lie on all things negative because they're not stating them for what they are, they're stating them as bad, evil, and sinful, right? They can't always equate what is the more positive value to keep all they are good as truth. And that's why all faith is a static, twisted, scattered, blinding, undefined lie on you from birth to death. And like I've said in other videos, without me showing up, right, expressing this in every way a person could, right, this world was stated to a perpetual negative way. See, every time you cross faithfully instead of rightfully, truthfully, you only do it as a he shafter with negativity, okay? And what does that mean? Well, it's the good truth of nothing, of you only crossing bigger and better. See, anything negative, right, of being more positive, right, is only in a state of decay and disintegration to one neutral nothing of them, right? Just negative of them here and now. And Shiva, right, was the first incarnate, right, shafter of all mankind through the Pistis Sophia faith of him, okay, meaning he was created by Pistis Sophia, who is in return mother of the universe, right? The core of Pistis Sophia is Mother Earth, okay? Now, if you don't know to take all you are always and cross it more positive than negative, right? The neutral nothing, right? You're just always negatively deficient of it. And see, this incarnate foolish poser Godhead, right? he stated that all things, right, as a Shiva shaft, right, cross neutral, or at a neutral state of relevance. But let me explain something to you. There's nothing neutral. If you're not doing more positives than your negatives always, right? You're just devilishly delusional, nutty and fruity, a Shiva shafting, a he shafting matter of negative, right? To the good truth of God of your shape, form, of mass, only crossing Christ-like, more positive than the negative always, to only add you up good in a more positive universe than the negative one. Okay? So states the here and now of your existence. Listen, you became a he shafter of negative to what is always already good-ass truth of you here and now. See? You're here and now, and with faith, not knowing to only cross all things negative back one more positive, right? It's a shaft on your existence, because even though you're here and now, you're only expressed here and now good-ass truth, right? More positive than negative. And it's the neutral nothing. Listen to me. And the only way you can stay here and now is to cross Christ-like, one more positive than all faithful negativity, right? The bad way of it, the sinful way of it, the evil way of it, right? The he shafter way of it, the Shiva shafting way of it, see? To an absolute bigger, better of you here and now. See, Shiva did not understand, right? Because he was looking to be the neutral God of Allah of all, but there's nowhere neutral, see? And his whole incarnation, right, has to do with this neutron. See, in different scriptures, and all the scriptures around the world have been shafted with faith, but in the scriptures it does shadow talk to the reality check of it. See, Shiva, right, is the incarnate God of the neutron, and Brahman is the incarnate God of the electron, and I can't even remember the fool's name. Vishnu is the incarnate God of the proton, right? And they all try and describe this atom, but this atom, right, they're describing is female, okay? And Pista Sophia was female, okay? And what I mean by that is anywhere you plug in anything of matter, right, it has to be more positive than the negative, right? Because if not, you'll burn down your house, or you'll cause your cord or whatever's plugging in, whether it be you into reality, to cause yourself to burn out to nothing. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And by this fool trying to state all reality check in an atom neutral, right, which is nothing, right? Because anything here and now has to be stated more positive than the negatives of it, because that's the only way it can exist here and now. All else is the one nothing of it from the negativity. Okay? So anyways, this poser, this fake, this Vishnu Brahman 3 times nothing female godhead, right, has Shiva shafted the whole world. And Pista Sophia was the first female atom, right? That the good of God as truth, right? The more positive, boundless energy, right? Of all I am, right? Created as a backdrop, as a negative, right? To coagulate all matter together, right? Not to destroy it to one nothing, but to incarnate all things matter, good as truth, to the bigger and better of them, more positive than negative forever. See, any good God and truth you ever think of better be absolutely here and now more positive than the negatives of it. Because if not, that God is the good God and truth of nothing. You hear me? And it's the neutral nothing of Shiva. Shiva could not deal, right, with the fact, as a shafter on his own existence, right, that things was coming back more negative than positive. But I'm going to tell you something about this Samuel energy, because that's what it is. It's devil energy. Anytime you take on devilish energy, right, to your matter, right? You become a he shafter of a bad way, a sinful way, an evil way of faith. Because you're not producing all those things that are just one same, a negative, right? More positive to be good as truth. And that is the reality check of Eva and the shafting ways and the Yada-Beth incarnations of him and every foolish god that's ever been depicted, right, under the sun, right? Because I'm telling you, without me showing up here and now, the good of God as truth of all for everlasting peace I am, the absolute good God and truth of the matter of the life of Jesus Christ, right? With the thieving Holy Spirit out, more positive man than a negative way I always am, right? Mankind would be stuck in a state of perpetual negative, crossing to one nothing, right? More animal than man, right? Forever. And that is a fact of God check. And I'm going to explain something to you, right? I wasn't taught what I know, right? This is who I am. This is who I was created as. See, from the age of 3, I seen the difference between myself and the world around me. Because I understood, right, that there was nothing more nurturing and more loving than a more positive spirit than a negative one. That was always the only way I am, okay? Now, because I live in a faithfully defined world, right, where no good truth, right, is established, right? Because if you don't know that anything good as truth is only more positive than negative from the inside out at 360 degrees, you're not defined in it to the reality check of you always. And if you're not always defined to the reality check of that, you're always negatively deficient of it from birth to death. Okay? And, you know, I've always felt like this, right? The state of one more positive from the inside out to state that way with your circuitry, right, is the only light, joy, warmth, good God or true, holy with spirit you will ever know or be, okay? It's the state that all inbody of matter is stated good to the truth of God of their shape, form, and mass, only Christ crossing the absolute bigger and better than all negativity. With the here and now Holy Spirit out of the God of Allah of all for everlasting peace, the man up, good God and truth, the King of all creation of existence of reality check, I am. And that is a fact of God check from the full thief man. God, King, Adam man first evolved the triple mill of all I am. Peace.